Hello everyone, welcome to my Regents chemistry video. My name is Miss Wiswall and I am your child's chemistry teacher. So below you see all my contact information, but if you have any questions, the best way to reach me would be through my email, jwiswall@sewanecaschools.org. So the reason I'm making this video is for anyone who is absent, but also because I only have 10 minutes per class period during the parent-teacher conference, so I'm going to try to make this as quick and concise as possible. So, what is Regents Level Chemistry? It is a hands-on course that teaches students more about the physical and chemical reactions in this world and more about the world we live in on an atomic level. So basically it answers questions such as why does my cell phone battery die every 2 years and why does peanut butter not mix? Why is organic peanut butter a layer of oil and a layer of peanut butter that I have to mix every single time I use it? I love this course because it just really looks at the world in a different lens and answers questions that we don't even think about. I try to make sure every lesson answers the question, well, why did I learn this today? So at the end of the year, students will be taking a Regents chemistry exam. In order to take it, students must have 30 labs done. Anyone who has failed a lab or is missing a lab will not have that lab count towards the 30 labs. By the way, just to clarify, a failing lab is a 6 or below because I grade my labs out of 10. Anytime you failed or miss a lab, you can just privately see me and I can allow your child to complete the lab or redo it to get that passing grade so it counts. So some general class procedures include safety. Students must wear the mask, so to correctly wear a mask, it must be above the nose and above the mouth. It should not be below the nose. It should not be on the chin unless we are taking a mask break. Mask breaks tend to last 2 to 3 minutes, and I tend to give about 3 to 4 per period. Social distancing is always maintained. Normally my class can fit 30 students, but with social distancing, we have made it to 15, but my classes tend to have less than 15 students in there per person, so that is totally fine. Sanitation, I clean my desks every single morning. I also have a hand washing station and a sanitation station for hand sanitizer and hand washing. Also, we have someone who sanitizes the desks throughout the day multiple times of the day, and I have antibacterial wipes so students can wipe down the desks at any time if they'd like to clean their desks extra. Remote learning. My platforms are Google Classroom and Google Meets. I also use Google Breakouts that allow students to break into different groups, and I can just pop in and see how they're doing throughout. You guys can join my Google Classroom. I actually have codes in the next couple of slides so you can pause the video and just write down. Attendance will be taken via Google Meet. I actually have a application that allows me to track how often students are in my Google Meet as well as how long they stay in there. So anytime a child leaves the Google Meet, I can actually see them leaving that Google Meet, or if they just don't log in at all. So I can use that as a way of showing you whether your child is staying in Google Meet or not. Microphones must be set on mute unless I am asking a question or they're answering a question, or if they're asking a question. They could also use the chat function if they prefer not to turn their microphone on. Lab procedures. Social distancing, we make sure the students are at least 6 feet apart. We make sure they're wearing their masks at all times. Alternative labs. So any labs that we cannot just adjust a little bit to make sure they're safer for students. We offer alternative labs through an application called Pivot, and it offers remote labs for students just to answer questions while watching a video. Google Breakout, that is a way of getting our remote students involved in labs. Again, they join the Google Meet and I just keep an eye on them while they're working with their lab group members. We've got safety supplies such as gloves and goggles. Our gloves are allowing students to touch supplies that they would normally not be able to touch due to keeping their hands clean. And we have goggles, which we will always clean. We put them in a UV ray and we wash them. Demonstrations, any labs that are not safe enough for students to do, I will demonstrate so they can see the reaction. Period labs 1 through 3 are taught by myself, but period 7 is taught by Miss Werbinski. So here are the instructional codes. I've got the remind, which I tend to use just to tell students to go to a different classroom. I also have the Google Classroom codes in case you would like to join, and I have the Google Meet link, so pause the video if you would like to copy those down. Great expectations. My instructional material, I have the textbook, which is World of Chemistry, but we also tend to post all of my instructional materials on Google Classroom, so you guys can just check those out there. Your grades. This year I'm going to be using total points. So homeworks and participation, which I grade participation every week. That is worth 5 points each. Quizzes and labs are worth 10 points each. Any labs that are more involved, I tend to raise to 20 points each. And your test is worth 10 points each. For example, if your child gets 450 out of 500 total points for the school year, their grade is going to be a 90%. Also, CASA Learning earns an extra 5 points on your test grade, so tell your child to do that CASA Learning. Student responsibilities. Basically, I'm looking for your child to attend class on time. I know my first period class tends to have a lot of trouble with that, so I am asking them to attend class on time. Your iPad must be out and charged. Work must be submitted on time. Work tends to be due by 3 p.m. the day of, so make sure all work is submitted on time. Cell phones must be put away. I should not see any cell phones out. Students should be respectful and patient both to their peers and to myself. And finally, you must participate in the class, whether it's through the microphone or through the chat feature. The participation is graded through not only volunteering to answer questions, but also through the exit tickets. So anytime a student does not answer their exit ticket, that reduces their participation grade. If you get a 1, it means that you are not presenting a participation point, you're not doing the exit tickets, you're not doing anything. A 2 to 3 means about half the work is missing. A 4 means only 1 assignment is missing, and 5 means that everything is good and they're doing very well with their participation. Access to the grades are located on the parent portal. Grades tend to be updated every 2 weeks, but I will try to get those grades done every week. Also, tests tend to be given on Test Wizard, which students do have an account through their email. Anytime anything does not function, I am flexible to those students' needs. Instructional support includes extra help, which I have in-person extra help during periods 4, 6, and 9. I didn't put 9 down because I'm not available anytime I have a coverage. So good times to see me are during periods 4 and 6. I'm also available after school for remote extra help. I have it every day except for Tuesdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I do have an hour gap in which I drive home. So anytime I am not driving home, your child just can text me on Remind. I'll send them a Google Meet code and I will help them for as long as they need. I have instructional videos I post every single day at 7 p.m. of me teaching the lesson that I taught in class. I do this after school because I want to make sure I avoid any announcements, any calling out, anything like that. So your child does not need to record my lessons while they occur. Those videos are a resource to them. Review materials. I have review sheets, PowerPoints, unit packets, and all of the material all posted on Google Classroom. And finally, Operation Success. This is like an extra help, except in an instructional setting. Ms. Warbitsky is running it this year. She runs it on Wednesdays from 4 to 5 p.m., and that is the Google Meet link to join. The units I'm covering this year are all listed right here. The ones I got through so far are atomic structure and nuclear chemistry. I'm currently on the matter and energy unit, and I'm planning on giving that test next Tuesday, so please make sure your children are studying. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at any time. My email is jwiswell@sawanacoschools.org. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask now.